this is Gail's cooking show, and today we're making spaghetti squash, meat sauce, and other vegetables. Good times. So, we gotta scoop all this nasty stuff out because we don't want to eat that. I'm just gonna put it in the sink because that's completely fine. But there's a spoon in the sink. Now we're completely fine. Scooping. Still scooping. Trying to get all the nasty bits out. Like, this, nasty. But also, this stuff here, that's nasty too. Get it out. You don't want to eat it. I guess you can if you really want to, but it's not going to be enjoyable. I don't recommend. This is my least favorite part. Anyways, that was just me yelling at our wonderful director. I'm sure he cut it out. It wasn't quite nice. Still scooping, by the way, if you were wondering. So that was fun.
This part can get a little bit messy.
Yeah, this part can get pretty messy. You probably don't want to put it in your sink like I did, because that's not very good for the garbage disposal. But you can just like pick it up after you're done cooking and put it in the trash. Anyways, here's what it looks like all cleaned out. Next thing we're gonna do, olive oil. And we're just going to put, you know, online it said put a tiny bit, but then I ended up putting a bunch and it was completely fine. So put however much you want. Probably not too much though. It's done being opened. We're now going to pour a bit, heck, on this and get a paper towel. I'm sure you can still see me. Yes, wonderful. And we're going to take this paper towel and just kind of rub the oil around. So you just wanna keep spreading that oil around until you've really massaged it in there, because it's gonna help the cooking process. Now we're gonna get our lovely spices. And I'm going to bring them all over here because you couldn't see me earlier. So we have basil, rosemary, thyme, curry powder, which is quite nice. That's not for this one. And garlic salt. We're going to put not too much on, because you can always season after it's done cooking. We just want to let those flavors marinate. Rosemary, you don't want to put too much in, because while the flavor is nice, it's not nice getting that awkward crunch when you bite into some soft spaghetti. And rosemary stays crunchy. So don't put too much in. And thyme, that's pretty good. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference on the texture, so you can shake a bunch in. Now basil, which is cool too. Yes, curry powder. Not too much. Don't want it to be too spicy. So what you're gonna do is you are going to get a tray with some parchment paper on it, also called wrapped paper, or baking sheets. And you're gonna flip these upside down like this. It's fine if the sticker is on, you're not going to eat the backs. So you just flip them up like that, and you are going to want to stab the skins so that there are holes in them, like So stabbing the backs of the spaghetti squash helps to release the moisture from it. There we go. It's all stabbed and ready to go. So, I don't know what oven you guys have, but I have this one. And if you click bake, you're going to click 400 and start. And that's going to preheat your oven to 400 so that you can get the spaghetti squash in there. Once your oven is preheated to 400 degrees, you're going to open it. Make sure you have a firm grip on the spaghetti squash as you put it in. So now, once they're in, you're going to set a timer for 40 minutes. And then, while that's happening, we've got some vegetables, and we're going to cook them in a pan. A good alternative to oil or butter is vegetable broth or even chicken broth, because it still provides something to cook the vegetables in, but it's not as fat. You can still have them though. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it anyways, because I enjoy oil. Now you're going to add a little bit of oil as well. Now, you are going to start chopping up your vegetables. Now, I have a little bit of cucumber left. I'm just going to chop it up. Don't cut your fingers. That should be good. So I need to turn that on. Turn on your stovetop. Put it on high for now. Add the cucumber slices into the pan. Space them evenly so that they can cook. And then, for flavoring, we're going to add a little bit of tomato. But you can leave this part out if you don't like tomato. Clean your counters off before you cook, especially if you have animals, because they will get hair up on the counters. Make sure everything you put in the pan is inside of the oil/vegetable broth so that it gets a nice flavor to it. Then, once you've got everything in the pan, it looks like that. Swish it around a little bit. Get it into the center so that it cooks evenly. And add your spices. Now, we're using the same spices that we used to put on the spaghetti squash, but now we're adding this cool lemon pepper. It's nice, it's yummy. We're going to put some curry powder right on those veggies. Don't put too much of that unless you like it spicy. A little bit of basil, a little bit of thyme, and a little bit of rosemary. But not too much because rosemary is sharp. If that makes any sense. It's crunchy. You don't like the texture of it. And we're going to add a couple cloves of garlic to improve the flavor. And then a small amount of garlic salt, because this is a slightly low sodium dish. Just push the veggies around, make sure each side is getting cooked. Make sure everything is coated in the oil and the spices. Try not to let your vegetables overlap each other because we want them all to be evenly cooked. We're going to add a lid that fits. We're going to let it cook for a couple minutes. So, once you start hear it getting louder, you're going to take the top off of it and watch out for really hot flying oil. Possibly cover your hand with your sleeve. Cover both hands with the sleeve. This will help you to prevent getting burned by the oil. You're going to flip the vegetables over, and if you need to, add more oil or vegetable broth, or even butter if you'd like to start adding butter to it. I think that I'm going to add a little bit of butter for flavoring. And now we have butter. We're going to use a knife to scoop some of that butter out, and then just put that butter right in the middle there. Just make sure you keep stirring. We are just about there to that stage where they've got a layer. I think we're ready to take them off. And until your squash and other ingredients are ready, you can just put them on a plate or in a bowl, and there you have it. We've got some nice cooked vegetables there.
Alright, special guest chef Brendan time, because Gail doesn't like cooking meat very much. So, what we have here is a nice pre-seasoned, with taco seasoning, that tends to be the only pre-seasoned meat you can get, turkey, which we really like ground turkey as opposed to ground beef because it's nice and lean while still keeping that nice juicy quality. So you're just going to put that right on the stove. The element can be on high, really any temperature you like, because what you're going to do while it's in there, we've already thawed this meat. You're just going to break it on up. And you'll know it's done because it'll have a nice darker brown. Now our meat looks to be just about done. Always err on the side of caution because with ground meats it's very hard to overcook them, very easy to undercook them, especially when they're spiced because the color change is less significant. But we're going to cook it just a little longer, but at this point we're going to mix in our sauce, which at this point is pre-canned, which is just fine for most of our purposes. That's the whole can of sauce. Now, for this dish, we are actually using some puttanesca sauce, as seen in Series of Unfortunate Events, because in it, even in the pre-canned version, which you can make your own sauce if you like at home, but for these purposes we're just going to use pre-done. Puttanesca sauce has all kinds of wonderful stuff already in it, like green olives. Of course, it's a nice chunky tomato sauce. We're going to let this heat up just a little bit. But because our spaghetti squash is not quite done yet, we're actually going to just set this aside for now. We're going to put it back on later. Or, if you've got a stove with capability, you can turn that temperature all the way down for a proper use of the word simmer.
So this is what it's gonna look like when you've got it all finished. You could probably cook the spaghetti squash for a little bit longer if you'd like, but it's pretty good like this.